All right, coming up, more reaction from Tom Brady's media session on Thursday. Plus, is this LeBron James' final NBA Finals? Here we go. The rumors about a potential Patriots trade of Rob Gronkowski weren't based on anything real. It's obviously good news for the team. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to be ready for anything involving Rob Gronkowski. The symptoms of a Gronk trade are there. Older player, injury prone. They won a Super Bowl without him. The friggin' motocross press conference. A gentle contract dispute. Some tension that existed over the course of the last year. I'm not going to do squats anymore. I'm going to do what Alex says. Bill getting rid of a guy a year early opposed to a year late. All of that exists. I hope he remains on the roster, but I will be ready for anything. This situation has all the makings of a bombshell, early August, out of nowhere, jaw-dropping, mid-training camp, blockbuster trade of Rob Gronkowski. So Julian Edelman is appealing the 4-game suspension he's facing for allegedly taking PEDs. Edelman posted an apology today that read in part, quote, "I am very sorry. I don't know what happened. I've taken many tests, obviously, over the course of my career, and nothing like this has ever happened," close quote. I don't expect him to win the appeal. Look, you have substances that are either banned or not banned. The list of banned substances has to be totally clear. You have to know. You have to have access to it. You have to be more responsible with what you put in your body. That goes without saying. It affects teams. It affects legacies, not as much as baseball. And just a sidebar, I think in football, people kind of just brush PED users aside because they look at the physicality of the game. They feel like they're big dudes anyway. They take a lot of hits, and their ability to recover is of the utmost importance. I think in baseball, people feel like the results of the game and the statistics of the player are more directly affected by steroids. You wouldn't have hit that many home runs if you didn't take the steroid. You wouldn't have been that good of a player if you didn't take the steroids. I think for whatever reason in football, people don't equate steroids with helping you play the game at a higher level. But Edelman has to know what he's putting in his body, and he has to know what's not allowed. There's no excuse. As far as Tom Brady goes, is his relationship right now with Bill Belichick great? Probably not. But the key is I think they've always had immense respect for each other. I think that respect is still there. It's never been a Brady-Edelman kind of relationship. And honestly, a boss-employee relationship really should never be that. You know what Brady's return for mandatory minicamp says? I respect Bill enough. I respect his program enough where I'm going to show up. I may not be happy. I may skip voluntary OTAs, but I respect his program enough. So I'm going to show up when it's mandatory because that's what he expects. I don't think ultimately the tension affects wins and losses in terms of Brady, in terms of Gronk, and Bill. I think this is just like when you have an older car and it's breaking down and it needs work, but you don't want to sink a bunch of money into that car because you know sooner rather than later you're going to get a new one. The dynasty is winding down. They know that at this point they can't mend every fence. They're going to be professional about it, and I think they're committed to ending this run the right way. Tom Brady then spoke to the USA Today on Friday. He said, quote, "There are a lot of things that take a backseat to football when it's football season. I've got a wife, I've got kids, and they're not getting any younger. I'm trying to make sure that I'm there when they need me there. They're always there when I need them there, so it can't be a one-way street, you know? It's got to go both ways," close quote. See, this goes along with everything I've thought this whole offseason. We know that his wife has wanted him to retire. That's on record. I think Brady missing voluntary OTAs is him extending an olive branch to his family saying, hey, look, I'm beginning the process of putting football aside, putting football behind me so I can spend more time with you. I think this is just him saying, honey, please let me continue to play NFL football. If I do this and if I do this and if I miss this, will it be okay if I just play 1 more year, 2 more years? Yahoo NBA insider Chris Mannix said in a podcast that he thinks the Celtics fear that Kyrie Irving could leave Boston for the New York Knicks after the 2018-2019 season as a free agent. Look, I'm not going to worry about that. I don't care that Irving used to talk about the Knicks with his old Cavs teammates. The Knicks have the worst owner in all of sports. Their coach is a huge question mark. When he used to talk about the Knicks, he had no idea how good Jason Tatum would be. He had no idea how good Jaylen Brown would be. He had no idea he'd be playing with good buddy Gordon Hayward. He's the face of one of the NBA's signature franchises. I mean, after watching what the Celtics did this spring without him, if they offer him the Supermax, I have no idea how you could possibly turn that down to go to the Knicks. All right, take your pick. Will this be LeBron James' final NBA Finals? I'm going to say no, but it's going to be really tough. You got the Celtics who are ready to dominate the East. Unless LeBron goes to Philadelphia, I don't see him in the Eastern Conference, and I don't think he goes to Philly. So if you leave the Eastern Conference, getting to the finals will be harder based on what we saw with Houston against Golden State this year. If he goes to Houston, if he goes to San Antonio, if he, Paul George, and Chris Paul go to the Lakers and join that young core, LeBron could get to another finals. They could find a way if the Warriors aren't clicking, if there's an injury. So I will say no, this will not be his last NBA Finals. He'll get back there, maybe win another. I don't think he's done. All right, final take your pick. Who is happier on their big day? Alex Ovechkin last night winning the Stanley Cup, or Jen Sullivan marrying me back in August of 2012? Sheesh. Well, I'd like to think that my wife marrying me was a happier occasion than this man receiving a piece of metal. I fear that that was not the case. Alex Ovechkin looked pretty damn happy last night. In fact, he made me reevaluate every happy moment in my life and think about if I acted happy enough in those moments. I know Jen was happy, happier than Ovechkin was. I'll say Yeah, I don't know. All right, my lock of the day, the Warriors, -4.5 tonight in Game 4 in Cleveland. Golden State is hell-bent on sweeping LeBron and the Cavs. They're going in there with the mindset of this ends tonight. I think Cleveland knows the series is over. The most dramatic part of tonight will be who wins the Finals MVP. Steph Curry has 2 regular season MVPs, but has never won a Finals MVP. Sort of the one thing missing on his mantle. You know, Durant wants to re-enter the conversation as the best player in the world, so both really would like to win that award. That's the most drama that exists tonight. I do think Curry winds up stealing the Finals MVP when it's all said and done. But my lock of the day is Warriors -4.5 in Game 4. Have a good weekend.
Well, as you know, I'm not on Snapface and all that, so I don't really get those.